Hi, it's Chris and Goran from PickDogs.com here with your 2021-22 Serie A season preview. Over at PickDogs.com, we have tons of free content for you guys to go and check it out. And we do more free pick videos bigger than better than anyone else over here on our YouTube channel. So subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. Well, Goran, the last of the big five finally gets underway as Italy finally kicks off the Serie A season, and hopefully with a better result, well, for some than last year.
Yeah, I think the we had the most coaching changes in the Serie A more than any other league, I believe. Pretty much all the top teams have changed their coaches. There have been some player movements, and I think it's going to be another exciting season.
Absolutely. Well, let's kick it off with what we always do. Who's going to be your team to watch this season?
You know what? The team that I think is going to be a nice surprise this season has also changed their coach, and I'm thinking about Roma. They have made some nice changes to their team as well. They have some new players. They got rid of some players, and they have Mourinho as their head coach. And we know that Mourinho does some great things in his first year with the club. It's his second year when everything starts to fall apart. But I think Roma is going to play nice this season. They are going to be scoring a decent amount of goals. Their defense is going to be solid, I think, and I think we can expect Roma to be in the top four this season.
For me, I'm going to go a little bit off the board here. I'm going to go with Sassuolo. This is a team that I like. They played a lot of the top teams hard last season. They had plenty of draws against teams that finished within the top six. And this was a team that at times scored goals for fun last season. And I just think they're one of the up and coming teams that not many people are really watching out for. This could be a team that could crack the top six, and a Europa League berth would not surprise me for Sassuolo.
Yeah, Sassuolo was really close to the Conference League last year. They only didn't go there because of the goal difference. But yeah, like you said, they scored a ton of goals. They scored 68 goals in 38 games, and that's a almost it's not for the top five, but it's right up there with them. And yeah, if they are going to be able to keep their star players until the start of the season, or maybe even after that when the transfer window close, I think we can expect a good season from Sassuolo.
Absolutely. Now we're going to look at the dubious distinction of our teams to disappoint this season.
Yeah, I just gotta go with Inter here, man. They have a new coach, and I don't have nothing against Inzaghi, but I don't think he's Inter material just yet. They just sold Lukaku. There are rumors that Lautaro Martinez will be leaving the team as well, and if he leaves the team, you can expect another three or four players to leave as well. Uh, I think the biggest reason they have won that title last season was Lukaku and Antonio Conte as the head coach, and they don't have them this season. And I think it's going to be a surprise if Inter ends up in top three this season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was going to lean towards Inter as well, but I wanted to kind of give everybody a little bit of a different opinion here. So, of course, Gordon's team to impress is my team to disappoint. I'm taking Roma. I'm not a Jose Mourinho fan personally, and yes, like you said, first year is when he always usually does well, but I think that for Mourinho, this time around may be a little bit different because he's got to get his guys into Roma. A lot of times before, I've noticed maybe like the teams were better set up for Mourinho's style, or his player selection was going to be a little bit easier. But I just don't think there's a lot of chemistry with Mourinho with this Roma lineup, and a top four finish wouldn't surprise me with Roma because that's the kind of team Roma is, and they deserve to be up there. But it's just like I said, for me, I'm just not a Mourinho guy, and I think that the change in coaching style and sort of the abrasive style that Mourinho has may rub a few players the wrong way and may create some friction until this team really gets going.
Yeah, well, they have played a lot of friendly games. Actually, they have lost only one. But this is the team that still has Mkhitaryan, they have El Sharawi, they have Borja Mayoral, they have Carlos Perez in their offense. Yeah, they lost Dzeko, who went to Inter, but they still have Zaniolo and Pellegrini. They improved their defense. They brought in a couple of good players. They signed Chris Smalling on a permanent deal as well. They have Rui Patricio for Wolverhampton on goal right now. So I think they are going to be improvement. from last season when they ended up sixth and they were playing in the Conference League. And I'm gonna stay by my decision. I think this is the team to watch. So we'll see.
Well, only one of us will be right, so we'll have to see that at the end of the season. We'll revisit this, but anyways, we're going to look at the your bold prediction for this year's Serie A season.
My bold prediction is for Napoli to end up in the top three this season. You know, they were solid last season as well. They scored 86 goals. That was the third most number of goals in the league last season. Their defense was solid with 41 conceded goals in 38 games. But the most important thing is here that they were able to keep all of their players, which means the chemistry is great. They have a new coach right now, and let me just look it up quickly. That their new coach is Luciano Spalletti, which is, I mean, he's one of the biggest experts in Italy. He had a lot of success in the past with his previous teams as well, and as usual, Napoli is playing good soccer. They're, how do I want to say it? They're patient and they like to play with a lot of passes and a lot of touches. And their captain is Lorenzo Insigne, who had a great Euro Cup this past summer. And I think Napoli is going to end up in the top three, Chris.
Yeah, I got to touch back on my team to watch in Sassuolo. I think they crack Europe. That's going to be my bold prediction. Like Gordon said, they just finished on the outside looking in just based on goal difference last year. And I just think that this could be their year to really take that next step forward. I think Lazio could be a team that gets bounced out here, potentially Atalanta. I'm not counting those teams out by any stretch, but I just think that if there's a team that might fall through the cracks and let Sassuolo slip in the back door, maybe get into the Conference League, if not earn automatic qualification to the Europa League, it could be them. But like I said, I like the way they battled the top teams hard, and this is a Sassuolo team that usually wins the games they're supposed to win. So I'm going to go with Sassuolo to crack Europe and play some European football next year.
Yeah, we said everything there is to say about Sassuolo. Like I said, if they can keep their star players, they will definitely be in the competition for the Europa League, and they would absolutely deserve it.
Yeah. Now we're going to look at the unfortunate truth every year: who gets relegated.
Yeah, in my selections, I have two teams that were just promoted to Serie A, and those are Venezia and Salernitana. These are the teams that I just don't think can compete with the teams in Serie A right now, just because they don't have the depth and they don't have the game to compete with them. And my third team is Spezia as well. This is the team that has been playing in Serie A for a couple of years now. They were close to relegation last season. They ended up 15, which was only 6 points above the relegation. They conceded 72 goals last season. They scored 52, which is the most of all the tops, of all the bottom 7 teams, actually. But I don't think they will have that kind of luck this season. I just don't see them scoring that many goals again, while they still haven't improved their defense this season at all. And those are my 3 teams to get relegated, Chris.
Yeah, I want, like I said to you before we started this video, I want Venezia to stay up just because I think they have the best jerseys in Serie A season. I want to see those carry forward. But I'm going to be with you on Salernitana and Spezia, because I think Spezia, you can only allow so many goals before that those defensive issues bite you in the butt. And we've also seen Torino somehow finishing like the bottom 6 or 7 year after year, despite having one of the better goal scoring records in the league. But I'm not going to go with either of them. I'm going to go with Spezia to finish in the bottom 3. I'm going to go with Salernitana because they're a pain in the butt to type into an article or a Google search. And like you said, I just don't think they have the rigors to handle the Serie A schedule. But I'm also going to go with Empoli as well. Empoli, from what I've seen in the past, normally a team that does the whole one up, one down season. They get their they get their reward by heading up to Serie A, and then they just don't cut the mustard and head right back down the following season. And Salernitana, like we said, I think it's just simply a case of not being able to handle what Serie A brings and the level of competition it brings. And we also mentioned, like I said, Spezia, those defensive issues will eventually catch up, and I think this is the year, like you said, that they do catch up to Spezia.
Yeah, like for a team to improve defensively, a lot has to change in their team to especially in the teams that are at the bottom of the standings, or the teams that don't have the depth like all the top teams do. And for that reason, yeah, Spezia is I think the most obvious choice to get relegated this season.
Yeah, now, what everybody came here to see, who do you think wins the Serie A title this season?
You know what? I think it's going to be tight competition this season. Inter has won dominantly last season, but I'm going to go with AC Milan this season. They have signed a few good players on permanent deals. I know uh, uh, they lost Donnarumma to PSG. They lost Çalhanoğlu, who went to Inter Milan. But they signed Giroud. They signed Tonali on permanent deal. They signed goalkeeper Mike Maignan from Lille. He was supposed to be a substitution for Donnarumma, but we'll see how he can handle Serie A. But overall, I think Milan has had a solid last season. I think they are a great team. They are still in the market for a few improvements to their roster. They still have Ibrahimovic and Rebic up front. Now Giroud, who's a prolific goal scorer in my opinion, and to pay only 1 million for him to Chelsea, I think that was a steal, even though he's 34 years old. But we know that Milan always does well with those over 30 players. Their defense has stayed the same. Their midfield is pretty much the same as well. If they can stay consistent for the bigger part of the season, I think Milan could actually get back on top in Serie A.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go chalk. I'm going to go with Juventus here. I just think that last year was downright unacceptable for Juventus by their own standards. Still have a loaded roster with likes of Ronaldo, Dybala. I'm not a Wojciech Szczesny fan, but he is where he is for a reason, and I also like guys like Bonucci and those like, and I just think that Juventus has to rebound with that talent, because if they don't, players are going to start to leave, and and players are going to be unhappy, fans are going to be unhappy, and there's almost going to be a revolt within that lineup. And like I said, I just think the talent level is there. Last year, the Juve is a little bit salty with how they finished last season, but by their own fault. So I think they're going to put their best foot forward this season. You might see them come out gangbusters and take Serie A for their own this season.
You know what? Juventus' biggest signing this offseason is Massimiliano Allegri, who's the new head coach. That's something they really needed because last season was a huge disappointment. They barely qualified for the Champions League. But honestly, I think their biggest problem is going to be Ronaldo's ego once again. He's going to take every free kick. He's going to take every penalty. Yes, he will score 25 goals per season, sure, but he's going to need 400 chances to get those 25 goals. And I think that's going to be their biggest problem, honestly. I think they have a good roster. They signed Weston McKennie on a permanent deal for like 20 million euros or so. But I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of Juventus. I hate Ronaldo, as you can tell. But yeah, they will certainly be in the competition for that title. They will certainly end up in the top 4, that's for sure. But I'm not sure they have what it takes to win the title. But we'll see, I guess.
That's why everybody watches these videos. Because Gordon and I sometimes don't agree on stuff, and we're two Canadians that kind of go back and forth and don't really get too violent about our arguments. So.
And just to add up, Juventus is the biggest favorite to win the Serie A title for -125. Milan is plus 1,200. So.
Okay, you just had to throw that in my face before we finished the video.
Yeah, there's no way.
Okay. All right. Gordon, do you want to do a bit of a recap for everybody?
Yeah, like we said, I think it's going to be another exciting season. We mostly agree about the relegation teams. We don't agree about the teams to watch or teams to disappoint. You think Roma will disappoint. I think Roma is team to watch this season. I think they will do great. I think Inter is team to disappoint. I think if they sell another player or two, everybody's going to want to leave Inter, and that's not a good thing. I think Napoli is going to end up in the top 3 as a bold prediction. I'm not sure I remember who's your bold prediction, Chris.
Sassuolo to crack Europe.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's also a pretty nice choice to have, because Sassuolo is a good team and they're certainly a team to watch. And the title pick, I have AC Milan. You have Juventus. We are totally far apart on this one, Chris.
That's okay. We'll probably be on the same page later on in the season as our best bet videos go. But guys, definitely check those out as well. We're going to be having a lot of game previews for you guys coming up. Always don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button. If you're looking for more free pick videos and free pick content, you can go over and check out pickdogs.com or check out the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. We got tons of pick videos here as well. Do it bigger and better than anyone else. Also check out Pick Dogs Premium. You can get best bets from some of the world's top handicappers, including Gorn and myself. And you can also find some great value over there with some of the world's best handicapping. But definitely thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.